Our planet is not just a passive sphere drifting through the cosmos. It's a dynamic world, a sphere in perpetual motion, constantly engaged in a complex ballet of spins and orbits. It's spinning on its axis, completing a full rotation each day as it simultaneously orbits the sun, tracing an elliptical path through space over the course of a year. This dual motion is fundamental to our existence. This spin, a legacy inherited from the swirling gas and dust that coalesced to form our solar system billions of years ago, is not just a random occurrence. It's a fundamental property, a conserved angular momentum from the very beginnings of our cosmic neighborhood. It is the silent engine of our world, the unseen force that drives so many of the processes we take for granted. It's a constant, reliable energy source that shapes our environment in profound ways. It shapes our days and nights, creating the familiar cycle of light and darkness that governs so much of life on Earth. The rising and setting of the sun, the transition from dawn to dusk, all are products of this continuous spin. It dictates the rhythm of life, influencing the biological clocks of plants, animals, and even humans. Our sleep cycles, hormone production, and many other physiological processes are synchronized with the Earth's rotation, and it influences the currents of our oceans and atmosphere, driving global weather patterns and distributing heat around the planet. Without the Earth's rotation, our climate would be drastically different, and likely uninhabitable. The rotation creates a subtle centrifugal force, a slight outward push that counteracts gravity. This force is most pronounced at the equator, where the Earth's rotational speed is highest, making you slightly lighter at the equator compared to the poles, a difference that, while imperceptible in daily life, is a measurable consequence of our planet's spin, and giving Earth its slight equatorial bulge, transforming it from a perfect sphere into an oblate spheroid. This bulge, a direct result of the centrifugal force, is a visible testament to the power of rotation. Our concept of time, a 24-hour day, is not an arbitrary construct. It's a fundamental unit of measurement, deeply rooted in the physical reality of our planet's rotation. Is a direct result of this planetary spin, a reflection of the time it takes for our planet to complete one full turn on its axis relative to the sun. Civilization itself is built on the reliable promise, the unwavering certainty that underpins our daily lives and long-term planning. That the sun will rise tomorrow, a predictable event that allows us to structure our societies, plan our activities, and build our future. But what if that promise was broken? What if the very foundation of our existence, the reliable rhythm of our planet, were to suddenly cease? What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? What would be the immediate and long-term effects of such a catastrophic event? The consequences would be immediate and catastrophic, far beyond anything we can readily imagine or have ever experienced, unraveling everything we know about our world, our place in the universe, and the very laws that govern our existence. The air, water, land, and all life, every element of our planet's intricate system, are interconnected and interdependent, are bound to this grand spinning system held together by gravity and the momentum of rotation. To halt the motion is to unleash unimaginable violence, a sudden release of energy that would dwarf any natural disaster in human history. The world would become unrecognizable, transformed into a landscape of unimaginable devastation and geological upheaval. As the laws of nature turn against us, the very forces that sustain life would become instruments of destruction. This is more than a disaster. It transcends the scale of any catastrophe we can comprehend. It's a complete redefinition of our reality, a fundamental shift in the physical laws that govern our planet. The steady spin we take for granted, the constant rotation that defines our days and nights, is far more than just a background process, is a colossal store of kinetic energy, a vast reservoir of motion that is constantly being replenished by the Earth's inertia. Its sudden absence would unleash that energy, releasing it in a burst of unimaginable power, in a single devastating act, transforming the Earth in ways that are both terrifying and fascinating to contemplate. The journey into a world without spin, a world where the Earth stands still, is a journey into the unknown, is a journey into chaos, a descent into a reality where the familiar laws of physics no longer apply. What follows is a look at the terrifying consequences, a glimpse into the potential aftermath of such a cataclysmic event, of a planet brought to a standstill, a world where the very fabric of reality has been torn apart. The silent dance of our world is not just background, it's not merely a scenic backdrop to the drama of life, it's the foundation of everything, the very bedrock upon which our civilization, our ecosystems, and our understanding of the universe are built. Let's imagine what happens. Let's embark on a thought experiment to explore the potential ramifications. When that dance ends, when the music stops, and the Earth comes to a sudden, jarring halt. Imagine, if you will, the Earth's surface coming to a dead stop instantly, a sudden complete cessation of all movement. But here's the catch. Everything on it, air, oceans, buildings, and all life forms, every single thing that isn't bolted down, keeps moving eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour, the speed of the Earth's rotation at the equator. Imagine the sheer force. This is inertia, not on a small, easily grasped scale, but on a planetary scale. A force so immense it defies our everyday understanding. The result would be a cataclysm of almost unimaginable proportions, a disaster beyond human comprehension. Cities, our proudest achievements, would be instantly shredded into supersonic debris, pulverized into dust and scattered across the globe. Forests, ancient and vast, flattened in an instant, reduced to splinters and kindling. And even the mighty mountainsides, seemingly immutable, would be ripped apart, their rocky cliffs crumbling under the relentless force. Every living thing, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, would be hurled eastward at bullet train speeds, a terrifying, unstoppable wave of destruction. The friction resulting from this global scouring would generate immense heat, an inferno of unimaginable intensity. This would superheat the ground to temperatures beyond anything we can imagine, instantly vaporizing water and filling the sky with choking dust and ash, blotting out the sun. Gravity, the force that binds us to the Earth, would still hold everything down, preventing us from flying off into space. But inertia, that relentless forward momentum, would drag it violently across the land, an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. The transition from a spinning world to a standstill would be instantaneous. No time to react, no chance to escape the devastation, no hope for survival. The very ground beneath our feet, the foundation of our existence, would become the instrument of our destruction, a conveyor belt of annihilation. The immense energy stored in Earth's constant spin, a force we rarely consider, would be released in a single devastating moment, an explosion of planetary proportions. The world as we know it would be stripped bare, its delicate ecosystems shattered beyond repair. Civilization, all our achievements, our art, our history, erased in the blink of an eye, as if it had never existed. This is not a change in gravity, a shift in the fundamental forces that govern the universe, but the brutal, unforgiving consequence of momentum, a force that demands respect, especially on a planetary scale. The steady, almost imperceptible spin we never notice, the constant rotation we take for granted, is actually a colossal force, a sleeping giant. Its sudden and unexpected loss would be the most violent event in Earth's long and tumultuous history, dwarfing any earthquake, volcano, or asteroid impact. The planet would be left scarred, its surface utterly unrecognizable, a testament to the unimaginable power unleashed. The silent, unseen power of rotation, a force we rarely acknowledge, would reveal itself only in its catastrophic absence, a stark reminder of the forces that shape our world. This is the true and terrifying cost of a world brought to a halt, a planet robbed of its spin. The oceans, those vast and seemingly immutable bodies of water too, would obey inertia. They wouldn't simply sit still as the planet's rotation changed. Instead, they would respond with a force and fury that is almost unimaginable. The initial effect would be a planet-wide tsunami, a surge of water unlike anything ever witnessed in human history. This wouldn't be a localized event, it would be a global phenomenon surging eastward as the oceans attempt to maintain their original momentum. This isn't just a wave, a ripple on the surface, it's the entire ocean rising up, a colossal wall of water driven by the planet's sudden deceleration. Imagine the sheer volume, the unimaginable weight of all that water in motion. This immense surge would then begin washing over continents at speeds that defy comprehension, a supersonic tsunami, reshaping the world in a matter of hours. The energy released would be equivalent to countless nuclear explosions. The initial surge would flatten everything in its path, pulverizing cities, forests, and any semblance of civilization. Nothing could withstand the force of that much water moving at such incredible velocity. Coastlines would be erased in an instant, swallowed by the relentless advance of the water. The flooding would extend inland for thousands of miles, transforming familiar landscapes into vast temporary oceans. Even mountains, those symbols of permanence and strength, would be eroded by the sheer power of the water. The landscape would be carved and reshaped on a scale never before witnessed. New canyons would be carved into the earth, deep gashes in the planet's surface, testament to the unimaginable forces at play. The geological record would forever bear the scars of this cataclysmic event. Entire landmasses would be submerged, disappearing beneath the waves, altering the very shape of the continents. Islands would vanish, and coastlines would be redrawn in a matter of hours. No region would be spared from this deluge. From the highest mountain peaks to the deepest valleys, the water would reach every corner of the globe, leaving an indelible mark on the planet. As the initial chaos settles, as the waters begin to recede, a new pattern would emerge. Water, seeking its own level, would migrate toward the poles, drawn by the planet's gravitational field. This migration would eventually lead to the formation of two massive polar oceans, vast expanses of water dominating the northern and southern hemispheres. The world would be forever changed. The equator, once a region of lush rainforests and diverse ecosystems, would become a vast, arid supercontinent, a stark contrast to the watery poles. A new world order would emerge. The poles, once covered in ice and snow, would drown beneath these new seas, their icy landscapes replaced by endless horizons of water. The familiar world would be unrecognizable. Familiar geography would vanish, erased by the relentless power of water and the dramatic shift in the planet's distribution of land and sea. The maps we know would become relics of a bygone era. The world would be replaced by a world of stark contrasts, bone-dry deserts baking under the equatorial sun, vast and unforgiving landscapes stretching as far as the eye can see, and at the poles, endless oceans cold and deep, reflecting the pale light of a changed world. A world dominated by water and extremes. The map of Earth would be rewritten not over millennia, but in a matter of hours, a testament to the speed and ferocity of this planetary transformation. The very forces that shaped our continents over eons would be undone in a single brutal event, a geological reset button pressed by the planet's sudden change in rotation. The planet would eventually settle into a bizarre new equilibrium, a configuration unlike anything we've ever known, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of a planet facing unimaginable change. Life as we know it would be swept away, a tragic consequence of this planetary upheaval. The delicate balance of ecosystems would be shattered, and the future of life on Earth would hang in the balance. All this, by the unstoppable power of moving water, a force that can both create and destroy, shape and erase, leaving its mark on the planet for millennia to come. The Earth would become a world divided by water and wasteland, a planet of extremes, a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of life. With Earth's spin gone, day and night would vanish. One side would face the sun in endless daylight, the other in perpetual darkness. Each day would last a year, with 6 months of scorching sun followed by 6 months of freezing night. The sunlit side would become a furnace, boiling away water and sterilizing the land. The dark side would freeze, the atmosphere itself turning to ice. Life could not survive these extremes. Only a narrow twilight zone, where the sun hovers on the horizon, might offer a sliver of habitability. This band would slowly migrate as Earth orbits the sun, but conditions would remain harsh. The world would be split between fire and ice, with only a thin line of possible life. The familiar cycle of day and night would be lost forever. The planet would become a realm of deadly extremes. Survival would depend on clinging to the edge between light and darkness. The atmosphere too would be thrown into chaos. Supersonic winds would scour the surface, adding to the destruction. Without the Coriolis effect, weather would be driven by the stark temperature difference between the sunlit and dark sides. Air would rush from the cold side to the hot, creating relentless globe-spanning winds. The twilight zone would be battered by constant storms and dust. Familiar weather patterns would vanish, replaced by a brutal, predictable cycle. The sky would be choked with debris, the air a violent engine of heat transfer. The atmosphere would become another force of destruction, not protection. The world's weather would be reduced to a simple, merciless exchange between extremes. The beauty and complexity of our skies would be lost to monotony and violence. Deep inside Earth, the spinning core generates our magnetic field, a shield against cosmic radiation. Without rotation, this dynamo would stop and the magnetosphere would vanish. Solar wind and cosmic rays would bombard the planet, stripping away the atmosphere over millennia. Radiation levels would soar, making the surface deadly, especially on the sunlit side. The auroras would disappear, replaced by a silent, invisible threat. Any survivors would face lethal doses of radiation daily. The loss of our magnetic shield would mark a fundamental change. Earth would become vulnerable to the cosmos. The atmosphere would slowly bleed into space, leaving the planet exposed. Life would be forced underground or perish. The protective bubble that made life possible would be gone. Earth would become a hostile, irradiated world. Our sense of time is built on the 24-hour cycle of day and night. Without rotation, a single day would last a year. 6 months of sun, 6 months of darkness. The concepts of morning, noon, and night would vanish. Society would have to invent new ways to measure time, divorced from nature. The psychological toll would be immense. Endless day would bring sleep deprivation and mania. Endless night, depression, and despair. Our internal clocks would be shattered. In the twilight zone, time would be marked only by the slow crawl of the sun along the horizon. The comforting rhythm of sunrise and sunset would be lost. Life would be adrift in a world without natural time. The passage of a year would be the only true measure. For any survivors, time would become a strange, artificial construct. The world would be locked in a perpetual state of waiting. Time as we know it would be broken beyond repair. The chain reaction of disasters would trigger a mass extinction beyond anything in Earth's history. The initial halt would wipe out nearly all life in hours. Plants would be destroyed by heat or darkness, ending photosynthesis and oxygen production. Animals would have no food, water, or shelter from the extremes. Even extremophiles would struggle to survive the new chemistry and temperatures. The intricate web of life would collapse instantly. Perhaps a few microbes might persist in deep underground refuges or the twilight zone. But the rich biodiversity of Earth would vanish. The planet would fall silent, its vibrant biosphere erased. Earth would return to a barren, rocky state, hostile to complex life. The spin of our planet is not just a backdrop, it's essential for life. Without it, the machinery of the biosphere cannot function. The grand experiment of life would be reset to zero. Could Earth ever truly stop spinning? The answer is no. Our rotation is a result of angular momentum from the planet's formation. No natural force in the solar system could bring Earth to a sudden halt. Even a massive impact would more likely shatter the planet than stop its spin. The energy required is beyond imagination. Earth's spin is slowly decreasing due to tidal friction with the moon, but only by milliseconds per century. It would take billions of years to slow significantly, and even then, Earth would never stop completely. The scenario of a stationary Earth is pure science fiction. Our planet's spin is one of the most stable phenomena in the universe. The sun will keep rising, driven by a cosmic momentum that endures. Imagining a non-spinning Earth, a world brought to a standstill, reveals just how vital motion truly is to our world and our very existence. Rotation shapes our continents over eons, weather, time, and even the rhythms of our bodies. The quiet, almost imperceptible stability of Earth's spin is the very foundation upon which all life is built. It moderates temperature across the globe, drives weather patterns, and shields us from the harshness of space. We are, in essence, the children of a spinning planet. To contemplate its absence, even for a moment, is to truly appreciate its profound presence. Every sunrise, every gentle breeze is a testament to this beautiful cosmic dance. Our very connection to the vast universe is written in the constant spin beneath our feet. The Earth spins ever onward, and because it spins, we are here, alive and thriving. That is a true miracle, worthy of our deepest wonder and our utmost respect.